Hey stats teachers, this is Dan Petrock. Just wanted to do a short video showing you how to add links into your course. I know some of you have added additional quizzes and homeworks in my stat lab, and we're wondering how to possibly add them into the course instead of just a general link to all the assignments. And I tested this out yesterday with Cindy Green, and it seemed to work. So I'm going to go into the course here. I'm going to show you how this is something you could do to add to your own course if you would like. So if we go into our course content, make sure the edit mode is on. And what I'm going to do is, I don't do section 2.4, but I know a lot of people do, and I'm considering adding it in the future because I think it's a really good section. So anyway, if I go into the instructor course content and I go into my assignment manager, you're going to see all the assignments, the ones that are assigned and unassigned. So if you created a quiz or you created a homework or whatever it is, the only direct links were created were the ones that were in the kind of first created one. Moving forward, we could probably add more of these, but let's say hypothetically you want to use the section 2.4, or you've created your own quiz or whatever it is. So if I just go to assign, and if I assign that now, it should have a green check mark next to it. So if students went into the course, they would actually see this as a on their thing, even though I haven't set a due date. I'm not going to mess with that right now, but you can set all those things like you normally would. Now the question is, how do I link this thing into my class? So I'm going to go back into my course content, and I'm going to go down to the student link area, which is down here. So this has a link to a bunch of the student course content. And you could just put a general link to all the assignments, and this is already created, like a link to the homework or all assignments, and you could copy this link somewhere in the course. But this is a pretty cool thing. So if I want to create a direct link into one of my homeworks or quizzes or whatever, pretty much I just need to go into it, copy the link, and then put that link into Blackboard. So I'm going to show you how to do that. When I click on the My Homework link, notice how it opens in a new tab here. This is actually pretty important because then it kind of moves itself outside of the Blackboard link. So if I go into section 2.4, you'll see now I've got this link up here at the top, this MathXL link. And all I have to do is hit and copy that, highlight it and copy it. So now I've got a link to section 2.4 directly. And then I go back into my course content, and let's say I want to go into chapter 2. So if I go into chapter 2, notice we've already got the direct links to the other homeworks. And this one's going to look a little different. And for those of you that are even using a different textbook, this might be a really good way for you. Notice it's kind of named 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. So I could actually kind of copy that format if I wanted. So I could name it 2.4 scatter plots, correlation, and regression. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and I could make a link. So build content, and I'm going to make a web link, and I could try to make it look however I wanted, but I could say 2-4, let's see here, scatter plots, here, scatter plots, correlation, regression. Okay, and then all I have to do is hit paste. It'll paste that link to the MathXL homework. And one other thing I would do is open a new window. Is the default yes, let them see it. You can put in the descriptor like the other ones. This is my stat lab homework, or however, I don't know, I can always change that to make it look like the other ones, or however you want to describe this link. And I'll hit submit, and it should show up at the bottom of my course content here in this folder. So if I scroll down, now I've got a link here to 2.4 scatter plot. And I'm going to move this thing up, hopefully. I'll try to move it up. There we go. And there we go. So this looks very similar to our other links. This is very, kind of seamless. So like when a student clicks on 2.3, it opens up 2.3 and looks very much like, I think the same thing here. I'm gonna let it open. There it is. And now when they click, I'll close this, when they click on 2.4, and it should look pretty much the same. So this is a way, honestly, you can do what I just did. You should be able to link directly into any of the course content or any of the multimedia library. The way I just showed it, you could make a web link, or you could create an item and do it that way. I think the one thing you want to make sure you've got, go to your course content again. For instance, I set up the instructor course content. Go back to student course content. I set it up to open in a new tab. I don't think all those links are set up that way. If you ever want to do that with any of these links, for instance, let's say I just want a link to the tests and quizzes. So right now when I click on it, it stays kind of in Blackboard, and then the web link thing would be kind of worthless. So I'm going to go back, and if I want to change that to open in a new tab, or any of these links to open in a new tab, we just have to tell it to do so. So hit the drop down, hit edit, and we'll just click that box that says open in a new window, or whatever. Yeah, open new window. Yes. There we go. Now when I click on the tests and quizzes, it'll be open, and then I'll have better access to directly link anything that's in there. And by default, I don't think I have anything in there. So if you've created tests and quizzes, you should be able to see them there. Oh, here's like the default ones pre-made. So I could actually link these now. Let's say I want to do the chapter 2 quiz. If I click on that, if I had it, I could just take this URL, and there we go. That should work. So I just want to show everybody how to directly link any of my math lab content. That's one of the huge advantages of the direct integration, is pretty much any piece of content that's in Pearson, we can link directly into Blackboard now. And so if you create new assignments or new anything, or you find something in multimedia library you want to put in there, that method should work. You can either create a web link, or another way would be to create an item and name it however you want. Cool item. And you could say, this is a cool thing. And then you could highlight it, insert link, paste that link in there, open in a new window, insert, submit, and now whatever cool item I wanted to put in from wherever is now in there. So if you go to the bottom of course content, there it is, the cool item. So when they click on that, I linked it to that homework again. So that's another way. So these are just kind of good skills, I think, to have, in just working with Blackboard. But you do have a lot of flexibility and things that you want to do. So hope this helps, and thank you all for being so diligent and sending info regarding this integration, and we're hoping to make it even better moving forward.